physically the beauty of Tanglewood and the grounds, the home of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, their summer home. And when I was a teenager, I actually went there to study both composition in classical and jazz. So it started quite early. And Gunther Schuller was there, Dave Baker was running the jazz program, and Leonard Bernstein. I mean, it was a great time, just wonderful young students like myself, and you get a sense. And I said, oh, you know, I really want to be in this profession. I was about 16 years old. It was a scholarship to do the summer program, and it changed my life. It was just really, really great. Later, I came back as a composer in residence, wrote a piece for the Tanglewood Music Center Orchestra. And then about 20 years after that time, I was invited back to headline in 2003 to Tanglewood Jazz Festival with remembering the MJQ, Donal Fox Inventions in Blue. I think that summer was a bit of a celebration of the Lenox School of Jazz, so it really fit in. And the last time I was there in 2008 was the Sky Jazz Suite. So it's sort of nice to bridge the audience members that come to the Piazzolla concert during the summer, and they see my project as the one coming up this summer, the Piazzolla to Bach, and they go, no, I think I want to check that out. I think I can maybe get into a little bit of jazz. You know, that sounds familiar. I mean, as a kid at home, the music that I heard as 6 years of age was Igor Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, Bach's cantatas, Miles Davis' Birth of Cool. All this stuff is good music. It's all equal to me. And as you start studying, the piano teacher in your class, well, you got to make a decision. Are you going to do classical music or jazz music? I said, why? But when I met more people, I mean, like Leonard Bernstein and Gunther Schuller and T.J. Anderson, who said, hey, do what you hear and feel. Don't let other people. I call them the genre police. Herbie Hancock was a big influence. I followed him. I got to hear him when he was just sort of breaking out from the Miles Davis quintet into his own. But there's so many. I mean, recently there's been a lot of the Cuban pianists and musicians, which are fabulous. And there, they don't have all those categories. They're really open to all types of music. In this ensemble I have a great Cuban percussionist, Daphnis Pietto, who was born in Cuba, just came to New York about 10 years ago. And he's, again, all the world's rhythms are in his fingertips. He's a virtuoso. Maya Beiser, she's joining me in cello. She's a fabulous classical cellist. Doesn't improvise, but she's going to bring, and she studied with Isaac Stern, was born in Israel, loves, again, a lot of world music. In her own recordings, she's been exploring sort of folk music from her area, and she likes to explore. So I'm really glad that we're going to join together here, and I'm going to do some nice arrangements of Piazzolla and Bach, and have the ensemble sort of color her. She has an incredible tone on the cello. The thing about Piazzolla, he himself loved Bach, and so a lot of his tangos, and these are composed pieces. I mean, he actually wrote them out, have this Bach influence, and he loved bebop. Charlie Parker, he actually came to New York in the 50s. And went to listen to Parker and explore the whole jazz thing, and thought he'd become a jazz musician. So he took those loves and he went back to his country and the tango movement, and started writing his own type of music, which at the beginning in Argentina was not accepted. And they think that's just like they do here. That's not authentic. And now in the world over, everybody. I mean, great classical ensembles. I think many people are exploring his pieces, which are just beautiful. Warren Wolf was a brilliant vibraphonist. When he started with me, he was the young blood. We started working together. Before that, I worked a lot with Stefan Harris, and they're very good friends. And Warren, he's just a gifted musician. He has perfect pitch. He can play the vibraphone. Of course, he's virtuoso in that. Plays the piano well enough that he gigged and made his living accompanying singers. So what's interesting, in 2006, he joined my band. I gave him all these charts, and I'd heard he sight read everything. He just was very comfortable with that. And that's the new generation of jazz musicians. They're really highly trained, virtuosos in their instruments, and can cross the boundaries. I mentioned Daphnis Pietto, who's just joined this year. For many years, it was Terry Lynn Carrington, who's still in the band, but I think for this program, with the Cuban, it's going to taste and world rhythms is going to really bring a lot to the table. And John Lockwood's been with me for years. He's from South Africa originally, on double bass. And again, he's actually recorded some of my classical compositions, contemporary classical pieces. So he's wide range. So it's a very versatile group of musicians. Ozawa Hall is fantastic. Acoustically, it's very, makes you feel very comfortable there. Great lawn, of course. I think 2,800, 3,000 people can comfortably be there and listen and have an intimate musical experience. So it's a show, it's a concert where the audience members, I want them to, on the one hand, dance. A couple of years ago when I played there, the Tanglewood Jazz Suite, I did a tango. And I heard that there were people standing, dancing on the lawn. And then pieces that make people cry. I played a piece by Robert Schumann, I arranged. And I didn't announce the name of the piece. People just said, that was so beautiful. What was that? Was that a Rodgers and Hart song or something? No, that was Robert Schumann. Wow, cool dude. If I do my job right, that's that large range of emotion where, you feel like, you want to tap your foot and you want to do that. That's the fun part. And then also those deeper emotions that we explore, which is some of the, the great Bach, like the air in the G string I'll probably do with Maya. It's going to be gorgeous, It's a setting where it doesn't have as much preconceived notion, say, as you go to Newport Jazz Festival, you say, well, okay, do I like jazz or not? Because it's a pretty hardcore jazz scene. Where here you can, it's jazz, but it's in a situation where you can absorb it at your own pace.